Hey guys, Mr. Happy here with another Final Fantasy XIV video, and this time we're going to talk about a new feature that was added in patch 2.28. It is the Sightseeing log. It is unlocked at level 20 after completing the main scenario quest Sylph Management and obtaining a quest to unlock it from Noah Gamdula in the Adventurers Guild of Gridania. This feature requires players to solve a number of riddles hinting at the location of a memorable site in Eorzea. The player must figure it out, head to the Vista, and do a specific emote to get credit for the log. Now, there are a few specific things people need to know about these logs. First of all, this is entirely optional and, at least in my opinion, only for completionists and people who want to further explore the lore and amazing sites Eorzea has to offer. There is a minion reward at the end for completing all 80, but the majority of players will likely skim over this piece of content. Second, not only do you need to find the Vista and perform the correct emote, but the time of day and weather effects must match what is described in the riddle. This can be challenging sometimes, as the riddles aren't always entirely clear as to what time of day or weather is required, and it is immensely time consuming if you focus solely on a single sightseeing log, as standing in one spot and waiting for optimal conditions can take hours. So trust me, don't focus on the sightseeing log all too much. Third, this one's about weather. Weather has a chance to change at 12:05 a.m., 8:05 a.m., and 4:05 p.m. Eorzean Standard Time. This means that if you're aware of the time and weather required for a specific log, you can scout out the possible zones every 20 minutes or so when the weather changes. Fourth, and I know there's a lot of things to remember, you'll know that you're standing in the right spot when a message that says "You have arrived at a Vista" appears in your chat log. If you move away from the Vista after getting that message, you'll get the message "You have strayed too far from the Vista." Both of these are system messages, so if you have those turned off in your chat, you won't see these. Therefore, if you have it turned off and you would like to see them, turn your system messages back on. And one final thing, if you're looking to do any of this riddle solving yourself, I recommend turning off the video now. Honestly, I had a lot of fun finding the Vistas, and figuring out the time of day wasn't really that bad, but waiting on the appropriate weather means this can be very time consuming, and honestly, it's probably the worst part of this entire feature. If you're just here for completionist's sake though, continue watching. Alright, so in this first sightseeing log video, we're going to look at the first 10 locations and their required conditions. This includes the Vista location, weather conditions, and the time of day. Now, some of them also require a specific emote, but unless I state otherwise, all of them will be done with the /lookout emote. Some of them even require you to face a specific direction, so if it's not working for you based on this guide, turn your character slightly to face another direction and try again. Alright, so the first one is in the Limsa Lominsa upper decks. It has a coordinate of X, Y, and Y7 on this little ledge right here. The weather needs to be fair, and the time that I got it was sometime between 8 a.m. and noon. The second one is in the Limsa Lominsa lower decks down by the Fisherman's Guild. It has a coordinate of X7 and Y15, and as you can see, it's on the very tip of this ship. The weather needs to be clear, and the time that I got mine was about 10:30 p.m., so I'm assuming it's between about 9 p.m. and midnight Eorzean time. Number 3 moves out to Middle Noscea, where it'll be in the cave where you did one of your main story missions if you started in Noscea. The coordinate is X12, Y19. The weather you need is rain, and it's between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. Also, you need to do the emote /pray instead of /lookout for this one. Now, number 4 is in Middle Noscea again, and it's at X16, Y17 on this, I don't guess what you would call this, on the path down, there's sort of a spot off to the side where you see a guy looking out, doing the emote for looking out. It's actually right near that guy. He was a dead giveaway where this one was. And it needs to be, so X16, Y17, the weather is fair, and the time is around or after 4 p.m. I don't remember specifically because I walked up right around between 4 and 8 p.m., and I just got it immediately. I got very lucky on this. So look for it around that time. Number 5 is in Middle Noscea again, and this one was honestly one of the hardest ones of the first 20 in my opinion. It's at X25, Y27, and it's on this little fence. I would have never guessed to have jumped up here to try and get this Vista if I didn't have a good friend of me who was looking for it at the same time say, I found it, and bring me over there. I don't even know how he found it. So for this, the weather was overcast, and I got it between 9 and 10 a.m. I got it at about 9:43 a.m. according to what I have from my live stream footage. And this one's a little bit tricky. I had a hard time actually getting onto the Vista, so you may need to jump around, move left and right, but do it until it says you're at the Vista, and then just do the /lookout emote. Now, number 6 moves down to lower Noscea. X23 Y40 is actually at a place called Oscon's Torch, right near Morby Dry Docks. The weather needs to be fair, and the time is sometime or past 6 p.m. This is actually one of the ones that I haven't yet completed because the weather hasn't been agreeing with me. But I have friends who do have it completed, and they told me that that's about where they were when they got it. Number 7, lower Noscea, but it's up towards a Red Rooster Stead. Actually, it's right on top of the gate that leads to the housing area, the Mists. For reference, the location is X33Y19. The weather needs to be foggy, and it's between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. So you can't wait around till the 8 a.m. weather change to try and get lucky here. It's got to be the right weather when it hits midnight the night prior. Now, number 8 moves over to Western Noscea. Seems this is just a Noscea guide. And this one's actually behind the lighthouse that's in between Swift Perch and Aleport. For the exact locations, it is going to be X29 and Y30. The weather needs to be fair, and this one, again, is between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. So, again, you can't wait for the weather change at 8 a.m. I tried that. It didn't work for me, so too bad. So moving on to number 9, I actually just recorded the entire video and then I had to come back and re-record this one specific part. Number 9 is in Old Gridania, and it's one of the most frustrating ones of them all. It's in the back of the Leatherworking Guild. I don't even need to give coordinates because you can't miss it. As you can see, I'm jumping onto it right here with all these other people on this thing on the back of the Leatherworking Guild. I have confirmed that the weather does need to be overcast, and it is extremely rare in Gridania. It also needs to be the afternoon, so between 12 and 4 p.m., between noon and 4 p.m., should be a sufficient time frame in order to get this one. And the last one for this guide is going to be number 10, also in Old Gridania. This one was a little bit more fun, especially compared to the last one. It's at X10 and Y7 up in Apkalu Falls, and you actually need to climb up to actually get to this. It's a little bit more of what I was expecting, more jumping challenges. Not a lot, but it's a nice little thing. You got to jump up this rock that you just saw me jump up. You got to kind of navigate over up onto this rock, and then you got to jump down onto this lamppost. Now, this is the part a lot of people had trouble with. I tried sprinting, and I was over jumping it. Swift Song and jumping at a specific time really got it for me, but as you can see, I got it here in one try, but when I actually need to do it, no luck. But this one, I got when it was clear at nighttime, so between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m., maybe a little bit earlier than that, but it is pretty gracious how much of a time period you have in order to actually do this. This marks the end of my first sightseeing log guide. I'm going to try to break these into sets of 10, so the next one is going to be 11 through 20. Please look forward to that. I have already confirmed most of the information about 11 through 20, so I'll be bringing that to you shortly. And as soon as I finish 6, 7, 9, and 18, I'll be able to bring you 21 through 30, hopefully. But anyway, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, where you can watch my live stream. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.